So here it is, October 17th. This series 1 through 9 is kind of a bit of an evolution of the things that I just found fascinating as I started to study and explore Hinduism, Buddhism. And here's a particular quote. It's about matter and spirit, and it's kind of how everything's put together. And I just thought this was really great stuff. And this is from the book Ramakrishna's Disciples. I'm sure you can find it in many other places, but that's where I got the quote. And so let's just go right to it. I'm going to call this Matter, Spirit, and the Evolution of the Universe. Ooh. And I just love this stuff. Anyway, from Ramakrishna and his Disciples, pages 14 and 15. The Hindu religious philosophers of thousands of years ago, that's an amazing statement itself, thousands of years ago this was written, were much more truly scientific in their outlook than most of us are today. And they drew no such crude dividing line between matter and spirit. So that's the first point. No real separation. They explained the evolution of the universe as a projection of a series of coverings around the reality which is Brahman. Reality, Brahman, God, consciousness. This is just how they explained it. So you have God consciousness, and then you have these coverings. Brahman itself is pure, undifferentiated consciousness. But each of these coverings represents a stage in progressive differentiation. So here we are, all is one, and it gets more and more differentiated, the projection is, by which the one becomes seemingly many. Read it again. Brahman itself is pure, undifferentiated consciousness, but each of these coverings represents a stage in progressive differentiation by which the one becomes the many. Brahman becomes the many. This evolutionary process is said to be motivated by Ishwara. Ishwara is what most of us mean when we say God. That is, God with attributes, loving, merciful, and just. Brahman, being the absolute, is beyond all attributes and actions. So we have Brahman beyond all attributes, beyond all words, beyond everything. And so then we have this concept called Ishwara, or God, and there are attributes, and that's what we as people can kind of relate to, and Ishwara then is projecting this whole deal out there. Now, those coverings are therefore coverings of ignorance. Now remember, knowledge and ignorance was described as awareness of spirit, awareness of God. And so we have knowledge when we have more understanding and awareness of God, consciousness, spirit. And all of these coverings are ignorance because we live in that. We live in that thinking that's the ultimate. So these coverings are therefore coverings of ignorance. They hide Brahman from us. The material universe, which is known to our physical senses, is the grossest manifestation of this ignorance, since it is the most outward coverings, farthest from Brahman. It's an amazing statement if you think about it. No, isn't that all the reality? Anyway, I think it's funny. Matter and spirit are not divided. They are interrelated. The former is evolved from the latter, and the difference between them is only one of degree. There's the quote, pages 14, 15, Ramakrishna and his disciples. I just think that's wonderful stuff. So just think about it, look at it, see how that fits into all the other comments. But it also very much, in a way, shows that if we meditate on Ishwara, God, loving, merciful, and just, as it talks about here, if we're serving others and being this, we become this, and the rest, we gain knowledge of what the truth is, and the rest we won't be attached to, identified with, and we start becoming free. There you go.